What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the PhDJ podcast. This is Joe Bunn. That is Mike Walter. And
how are you, Joe?
Hey, what's up, Mike? How are you? It's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it?
For your first show as a 50-year-old, in fact, this is.
Oh, you had to bring that up.
Yeah, had to bring it up. Welcome to my decade. It's not such a, like I said,
it's not too bad. Not so bad. If you're watching this on video, there is a much more attractive person in the room. This is Kate from Book More Brides, and she's our special guest today. So what's up, Kate? Welcome to the PhDJ podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm so glad to join you guys, and happy belated birthday, I guess I can say.
Thank you. You can. It was the 25th of September. Nice. I'm a Libra, I guess, is what they tell me.
Okay, don't you have to, obviously you had to have been in the music world then. Is that not, the Earth, Wind, and Fire?
It's 4 days off. I think the song is the 21st.
21st.
I'm not positive.
25th, that was the first date that popped into my head. It's I'm usually pretty good with lyrics, but
Isn't it the 21st, Mike? No, I maybe.
It is. I'm pretty sure. Because that's the day. It has become May 4th on social media. You can't even look at Facebook. It's so annoying. Everyone, the Star Wars Day, May the 4th, and now September 20th. I think it is the 21st. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yep.
Well, so Kate's with us today. Reached out.
Kate. Thanks for coming on.
Welcome. Yes.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
She and her husband, as I referenced, own a company called Book More Brides, which we all, the name alone just
I love the title.
Me.
I mean, it's pretty much what everyone in this industry wants to do. Yeah.
Or book more couples, period.
Well, right. I'm sure someone somewhere is screaming. Sometimes there are weddings with grooms. All right, we get it.
We get it. We do those too.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, the company, and to give you a little bit of history, the company is over 10 years old. So, a lot of changes in the last 10 years. But yes, absolutely. Book More Brides is our business.
Yeah. Awesome. I was telling your husband when he was on earlier, pre-taping, that I knew the previous owners and had done some stuff with them in the past. So I'm glad to see you guys, to keep the baton going, if you will. And I just kind of wanted to open this episode up to get some tips from you on booking more brides. What we as entertainers, DJs, MCs should be doing. How you guys can help and what your company kind of does. And so, Mike and I are just going to kind of let you run, and we'll jump in with questions as we see fit, but let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you referenced that, yes, the previous owners, we came in about 2 years ago at this point. We're actually about to hit that 2-year mark. 2019, late 2019, great time to, start up a business, get
in the entertainment field,
right? Yeah.
Weddings looked like they were going to go on forever with no interruption. Wasn't it great?
What could go wrong? Yeah, exactly. But no, we actually, so same thing. We were students of the previous owners, Stephanie and Jeff. Yeah. And, we had gotten to know them, had made some connections through the business, and, they knew that we had some strengths in digital marketing and in business and sales. So they asked us to come on and, do a couple of workshops and, help to lend our expertise to their students, at that point. And we learned not long after we started kind of almost like apprenticing underneath them, that they were looking to, explore some other projects and things like that. So we got a call one day and said, hey, would you be interested in purchasing the business? And I thought, well, hadn't really thought about it, but that was for us an automatic yes, because we knew what a strong foundation had been set with the Book More Brides brand. And we knew that with our strengths and our backgrounds, that we could bring a lot of good information and good teaching to the students, as well as help to expand it a bit. So that's what we've been doing these last 2 years.
Well, I'm happy you're in it, and you've kind of, if you made it through last year, you could make it through anything. And I'm sorry you bought it at the wrong time, but put it this way, it's only up from here.
Well, exactly. And I was actually thinking about this the other day, that if you were in the wedding industry pre-pandemic, and you're still in it now, I mean, it's like Reba McEntire, you're a survivor. You know what I mean? It's like, you can make it through this. It's going to be okay, because this has been such a challenging time. But what we have found from working with our students during this time, because obviously, there's been so many ups and downs, and we've had the opportunity to work very closely with some students who have basically had to almost rethink their businesses, where they're like, I don't, everything has fallen apart. Actually, it was the week of the nationwide shutdown. We had actually just launched a new program. Again, fantastic timing. But we had a student who came to us, and he's actually a balloon artist, like a balloon designer, and does like all the archways and things like, not like the animals, right? But
I know
the archways, and these actually extremely impressive installations. Like, he's won national awards for the way he's been able to use balloons to accomplish various designs and themes and things like that. And it was that first week, and he came to us and he was like, I have lost everything. All of my business contracts, everything that was planned is gone, because what was coming up on his schedule, not only weddings, but he had corporate events, he had proms, he had graduations, everything was gone. And it was like everybody was canceling on him left and right. And he's like, I don't know what to do. So we worked with him, to come up with a plan. This is where Nick really shines. He is great at kind of seeing that big picture of businesses and, okay, here's what we need to do, where we need to, next steps to take, especially towards, getting towards a specific goal. And we worked with him. And the thing is, his name is Brady. And we have just been so proud of Brady, because obviously it's like, we gave him the coaching and the help and everything like that. But he was the one who had to do it, right? He was the one who had to get out there and find these different ideas. He pivoted and went out and started doing like lawn. How the drive-by birthday parties? That were like a big thing for a while, right? So he started doing like lawn decorations for that. So that way, people would have, come by and drive by, and he'd have these nice decorations out for them, or people would order them and have them delivered to people as these celebrations. He just quickly was like, hey, I can do that for people. He found a new way to approach his business and meet the current situation, what was going on. And then as things started to, kind of ease up that summer, he actually started landing a bunch of corporate contracts and everything like that. And now he's been able to leave his full-time job in the middle of a pandemic. He was able to, he has made, I can't remember the specific numbers, but it's like, he's like 4x his income in like just this short amount of time. Why? Because he knew that he was great at what he did. That's the thing. No matter what's going on in our industry, like you guys are great at what you do. The problem is that you might not always know how to market your business right, or knowing what the next step is in terms of like, okay, I'm here, but I want to be here. What do I do next? So that's a lot of times, that's where we come in, and that's where we will do either coaching or we do done for you services. We have the program where it's kind of like a DIY, like especially if you're just getting started in the industry and you're kind of learning the ropes. We have a lot of different ways to do that, because like I said, your talent level and your expertise doesn't change, but the way that you might need to approach your business and market it, that's where you need to get, really dialed in and make sure you're working with an expert to do that. So
basically you guys, and just going backwards in the story for a second. We had on a guest or two that did the same thing. They did these massive pivots. They did these back of the pickup truck or flatbed truck mobile DJ parties, pull up to a cul-de-sac. We're doing 6 a day, and
also virtual crazy parties. We had a young woman on who got into the virtual party thing. So the pivoting thing was essential. It probably still is a little bit, even though, I don't know about your market, Joe, but things are open to 100% here, and we are busier than ever.
Parties.
Yeah. So,
Real
Kate,
parties.
I understand if people come to you, you can help them with the marketing and the messaging. Are there some tips you can share with our listeners to help? If you looked at my email marketing, what kind of direction could you steer me in?
Yeah, absolutely. So really what I always tell
Am I the only one hearing that sound?
I hear it, Mike, but then it went away. It
Okay.
It's okay.
If our listeners heard it, it's some kind of digital weird sound. I don't know who.
Interesting.
I don't know who of I don't know who of the 3 mics it is, but it goes away pretty quick. So just keep listening and ignore it.
All right, there we go. All right, so it's absolutely something that when you have to kind of go at a foundational level, because again, what we teach is very solid principles of marketing and business strategy. These are things that are timeless, that are not going to change. So I feel very confident that no matter what situation that you're in right now, and what might be happening in your market or even where you're at in your business, if you get a couple of key things right, that is going to set that strong foundation for you to continue to build your business, whatever that goal might be, right? Some people want to go full time. Some people just want to keep this as a passion project, right? But knowing where you want to go and how to accomplish that is kind of key. So from a writing perspective, so you mentioned, Mike, you mentioned the emails, right? That is something that I feel very passionate about, because what we just saw recently with Facebook and Instagram, and
I just watched your latest video this morning.
Oh yeah,
I saw that was
everybody
great messaging.
freaking out because it went down for a few hours and everything like that. That is a great example of why you should not be building your business on borrowed land. By building your business and relying on direct messaging, relying on your stories or your reels, or your any posts that you might be putting out on those channels, and using that as your main way of communicating and finding clients, it's a recipe for disaster. Because the thing is, we don't own those. We have no control. Even under the best circumstances, we have no control over how those algorithms work. They change those constantly. And it's whatever works, because, hey, they're businesses too, right? They have to do what works for them. And our job with them is just to play the game, right? To make sure that we're doing giving them whatever they need to try to get in front of as many people as possible. But that's the problem. One, not only does it make it exhausting for us as business owners to have to be constantly like, oh, wait, this is big right now, I need to focus on that. Oh, that's not big anymore, now I need to do this. That's exhausting, because, again, that's not why you went into business, right? You didn't become a DJ because you wanted to spend all your time on Instagram promoting yourself. No, it's because you love music, right? You want to get out there and you want to create these incredible parties and these incredible atmospheres. So what can we do to make sure that we have better control over those conversations? That's why I'm a big believer in email. And making sure that you're bringing people in consistently. That's how you can use social media, is mention, download pieces that you have. Hey, I've got this great, guide to, here are, top 5 first dance, options for 2021, or different ideas like that. That's going to make people interested and be willing to trade their email for that information. That's going to, maybe make their wedding a little bit better. And then to continue that conversation, because when you have a good email strategy in place, then you're the one who can control. You can't always, you can't be positive that they're going to see it, but you can be positive that's going to be delivered. You can be positive that's in their inbox, it's searchable in their inbox, and they're far more likely to read it especially if you construct these in a good way. So do
you have a suggestion about frequency when it comes to emailing?
Yes. Once a week is kind of a nice sweet spot. It makes sure that, one, you're staying in front of them on a regular basis, that they are seeing your name, that they're getting good information. It builds that know, like, and trust factor with people, right? So definitely once a week is a good place to start. But if you are coming off of offering a download piece and someone, it's more than just someone maybe entering their information, the contact form at the bottom of your website or something. If they came to you for a specific reason, we want to make sure that we are following up with them quickly and often. So I actually recommend every other day. If they're coming in from a specific, activity or a specific source, going every other day for about a week or two, just to make sure that you are, because when they come in, that's probably the most excited they're ever going to be about wanting to talk with you and wanting to know more about your business and how you might be a good fit for their wedding. So we want to stay in touch with them, giving them some options and letting them know why we are the best choice for them, why we might be a good fit, and hey, let's get on a consultation call and let's talk about this.
Whenever an expert like yourself suggests something that I'm already doing, I'm like, yes, I'm doing it right. I stumbled into the right way, because Dominic and I have the same feeling when we get an initial inquiry. Yeah, every other day, maybe every third day, but we're hitting you hard for the first couple of weeks. And we have found our closing rate in the first 2 weeks of you inquire is so much higher. The longer out it goes, not that we never close one, but the closing rate starts diminishing. And it makes sense. Like you just said, the excitement of them reaching out to a service, it starts to diminish, and the likelihood of them having booked somebody else becomes greater. So
absolutely.
Great suggestion.
And if I can go off of that, what you said is that how the excitement kind of wanes and everything. Well, here's the thing. We also have to think about this. This is, again, one of those foundational principles that we teach about, is understanding kind of where their mindset is. In the DJ world, it's like, unfortunately, they don't book as early as we would like for them to, right? But you do get some of those couples that it's like they get engaged and right away they start reaching out to everybody. They want to get all the information, get as much, as many resources as they can, so they can really think about it and make some, good decisions and really feel like they're choosing the right people for their wedding, right? But what happens after that? Well, the statistics show, that it continues to be about that, the wedding engagement period tends to be about 1.5 to 2 years still. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, if you think about this, they reach out right when they get engaged, and, they're not necessarily going to book us right away. Some of them will, but a lot of them, it's like they're just collecting information, right? So this is what we call the buy later couples. These buy later couples are ones who they are interested in what you have to offer, and they know that they're going to end up buying what you offer at some point in the future, but they're not ready right this second. And so this is why it's important, again, to have that follow-up going, because if we don't continue to follow up with them, then everyone says, oh, I'm getting ghosted, right? Like that's, I'm getting ghosted. They seem like they were all excited. You might have even had a great call with them, but then you don't hear anything from them for a while. Well, I would contend for the most part that these are the buy later couples. They wanted to get some information, kind of wanted to get a feel for whether or not you guys are a good fit for each other, but they're not ready to, throw down some money just yet. Mm-hmm. So we have to make sure that we don't end up ghosting them by not following up enough. And this is why, depending on where they're at in their journey, and we don't always know this, but this is why I always also recommend that when you're doing a download piece or getting some sort of information from them when they're giving you your email, make the wedding date a non-negotiable in terms of putting that in there, because even if it's like maybe not having to put in like a specific date, but even just being able to respond in that box, because then you can have a better idea, like, okay, is this someone where, like you said, they were super excited and, but their wedding is like 3 months out or something. They're like, okay, well, if they don't respond after the first couple of emails and they kind of drop off, yeah, they probably booked somebody else, right? They probably went another direction. It'd be nice if they told us that, but they don't always, right? Sure. And but the thing is, if they say that they reached out and they have said that they're interested, but their wedding isn't for like another year or so, okay, well that's solidly the buy later couple, and we have to go into their mindset. Okay, what do they need to know to feel comfortable booking us? What do they need to know to move them closer to wanting to reach out to us and say, yeah, actually, send me your packages and pricing, or are you available for my date? And yeah, send over a contract. We have to get into their mindset and realize where they're at and make sure we're not the ones that are ghosting them by not following up enough.
I love that philosophy of don't ghost your client. We all are sick of being ghosted by clients, and following up is exactly that. You are not ghosting your client. We have that similar philosophy. A lot of it becomes automated after a while. I don't know. Maybe you can speak to that. What is your feeling about automated emails versus personalizing each single one? Go right ahead.
It's so funny that you put those two together, because that's another, if you think about like some like core foundations of, core tenets of like our business, for example, what we are always teaching our students. Well, one of them is automation with personalization. We are big fans of automation, because that's the thing, especially with these buy later couples, these sequences, and think about with other people in the industry, it's like those time frames in which they are perhaps interested and reached out, but when they are actually ready to buy, those tend to be kind of long sometimes. So you can't be, constantly, especially as your email list grows, having to personally reach out to each one like, oh, I've got this list of, 28 couples that I need to follow up with here. No, having an automated system is going to make that so easy. And not only that, but that allows you to continue to serve them at a high level, because when something is automated, it's not dependent on, maybe you had 5 events this past week, maybe you had, I don't know, a sick kid or something else that's going on where you're not able to respond in a time, the timely manner that you usually would. So automation is going to make sure that that's happening behind the scenes. But there are absolutely some ways that you can personalize that. And one of the ways that you can personalize it, aside from adding things like, their name and things like that, which always catches people's attention, but it's making sure that you are speaking directly to their needs, where they're at. And it's so much deeper than just like, yeah, they want some great music for their wedding. Okay. This is where I find that wedding pros really struggle, is they tend to stay too generic in describing themselves, their business, and why people should book them. They'll say, oh yeah, well, I'll keep the party going all night. Great selection of music, good flow to the evening. It's like, yes, absolutely. I should hope so. Like, that's kind of like basic level, delivery for you as a professional, right? But we have to think beyond that. Okay, so what do those things mean to your specific couples? And this is going to be different. This is why you can't really give a standard statement for like every DJ needs to say this for their business. No, it's going to be different based on your market, the clients that you like to serve, the type of beliefs that they might hold. You really have to get personal on this and thinking about who your ideal clients are, who your perfect couples are, and what it is that's driving them. So we have to think about what's behind, what is it that they really want from our service. So if they want, let's take a standard one. Everyone says, oh, yeah, I want the dance floor packed. Well, why do they want the dance floor packed? Well, likely, I'm just going to throw out a couple of generic ones, but again, you need to get personal about this for your business. They want their dance floor to be packed because they don't want people, getting bored. They don't want people, kind of checking their watch and seeing when it might be acceptable for them to head out the door so they could maybe go do something else, right? They want this is like, especially now, post-pandemic, the worst, hopefully, of the pandemic. This may be the first time that you guys have all seen each other. You've seen family and friends in a couple of years. This is a celebration, and you want that dance floor packed because you want everyone that you love surrounding you on that dance floor, celebrating this major moment in your life. Isn't that so much better? And doesn't that hit you at a heart level so much more than just saying, I'm going to pack your dance floor?
Yep.
Very good.
It has to be so much more specific. So that's how we can personalize those emails. And, going beyond that, our websites, our sales language, our social media posts. When you can clearly communicate that and you can clearly show that, hey, I get it. I get what you really want from me as a DJ. I know that you want these things, but it's because you want this as a result. That is what's going to help you to start standing out better. It's what's going to allow you to elevate yourself. It's going to allow you to charge more, because now you're not just a price. Because if you're saying all the same things as everybody else, everybody's saying, I'm going to pack your dance floor, I'm going to pack your dance floor, but you're actually saying something different, it's going to catch people's attention, and it helps them to understand the value that you are bringing to their wedding. And that's worth something.
Kate, I'm glad you brought up price. What do you have a suggestion about how quickly we should give our prices when asked? Because that is a topic in our industry. Like, is it something you give up immediate? Do you force the meeting? Does there have to be an exchange before we get prices? What is your? I would imagine that's a question that you're asked often. Maybe it's not. But what is your overall suggestion on that or opinion on that?
Absolutely. And we are not fans of giving it right away, because the thing is, you have not had the opportunity. If a couple reaches out to you, well, let's say especially with like Wedding Wire and The Knot, right? They have the ability to just click a bunch of buttons, reach out to a bunch of people, and it all says like, send me packages and pricing info, right? If that's all they say. If you respond and just say, here you go, let me know if you're interested. Well, they're getting this from all these other DJs that they've gotten the same thing from. You have not had the opportunity to demonstrate how you're different, why you're worth what is on that pricing sheet that you just sent. And not only that, but this is what puts you in that pricing struggle and feeling like you have to either offer deals or discounts, that you have to make sure you're the lowest in your market or anything like that. It's what's going to keep you stuck at a certain pricing threshold, because again, think about it from your couple's perspective. If all they have to go off of, if they've reached out to all these DJs and all they have is prices to compare them to, what are they going to do? They're going to look for the lowest price, right? Because who doesn't want to get a deal? Who doesn't want to save a little money in their wedding budget and be able to use it for something else, right? So when we immediately give our packages and pricing without building a relationship with them, either through digital means, through that automated follow-up system or through a sales conversation, then we're not able to show them why we are worth what we're charging. We're not able to show them our value and why we are going to be so much better than these other DJs that they've reached out to. And when we can demonstrate that, that is how we can get ourselves out of the pricing. So definitely, we always recommend that you don't send it right away. Try to get them into a conversation, of some sort, either phone, Zoom. It's nice now that so many more people are more open to video conversations, because that just helps you to make a better connection with people, right, than being over the phone if you can't meet in person. So being able to have that conversation, and not only that, when you have those conversations, you're able to actually prescribe like a solution for them, instead of just saying, well, here's this, figure it out on your own, couple. You're able to say, okay, so what is it that you're looking for? How do you want, what do you want at the end of the day? How do you want to feel when that last song has played, right? How do you, what do you want people to say about your wedding afterwards? So when they're saying that, then you can kind of say, oh, okay, all right, so what I'm hearing is this. And, based off of what I have to offer, this sounds like this package, and you can tell them what's included in that. Or similarly, if they say, well, I don't really want that, I kind of want this and everything, that gives you the opportunity to kind of mix and match a couple of things. Or if you need to close the sale, maybe throw in like an extra hour or something, or, throw in something that's going to be little to no cost to you, just to help make the sale, just to kind of push it over the edge, right? You can't have those conversations and do that if you're just emailing them a packages and pricing list. It's never going to happen. Got
it. Good stuff. So let me ask you this. How can our listeners reach you? How do you want them to contact you if they need your help? Absolutely. Well, we are at bookmorebrides.com. And we're actually in the process of, kind of updating our website a little bit. We're practicing what we preach here and making sure that there's an easy way to be able to get the information that you need. So we do have download pieces on there, so that way you can, get a little bit of a head start, know where to go next. Let me guess, I have to give you my email to download a piece, right? Of course. Very good. I saw that. I saw that. Like I said, practice what we preach here. Smart. But also, I absolutely, I love talking with people over Instagram. So if Instagram is your thing, hop over. We're at Book More Brides. It's Book More Brides across the board with everything, on Facebook, on Instagram. Reach out to us, or hello@bookmorebrides.com is our email address if you wanted to reach out and just say like, hey, this is where I'm at. We love being able just to sit down a little bit, maybe offer a little bit of conversation, no pressure or anything like that, but just, we know this is such a tough time for our industry. Still, people are still kind of like balancing things out, trying to figure out where to go. So we don't want anybody to feel like they're stuck, like they don't know where to go next. So I don't think I've ever heard hello at. That's a great email. Instead of info at or sales at, hello at bookmorebrides.com. That's hello, right? That's brilliant. It's one of ours. It's one of ours. We use that. Do you, Joe? You have a hello at? I think info at went to spam a lot. So I think one of ours is a hello at. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And again, you think about like from their perspective, it's like info. Well, what kind of info? What are you going to send me? Right. Hello is just a friendly hello. How to age gracefully, how to lose weight. It could be any kind of info at that point. That's why they think it's spam. This was super helpful, and hopefully everybody listening got a little tidbit from it. And obviously go to bookmorebrides.com and you can connect with Kate and Nick there if you'd like, and we appreciate you being on. Of course, appreciate all you guys listening. Mike, can we so this comes out next week. Can we tease the week after? Do we have that one?
October 14th. Well, I haven't run it by you yet, but I have a potpourri of topics that I have been accumulating over the last month. So it might just be one of those rapid fire. Hey, Joe, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this?
All right. Well, that's the teaser.
My recent tip streak. I don't know if you followed that, but that created a number of discussion points that I think could be worth hashing out.
I did see that. I saw that thread went crazy.
Yeah.
You were like, way to turn something positive negative. Thanks, guys.
I was celebrating 15 tips in a row, and it became this, I'm an asshole, and I don't know how to do business.
It was insane.
It was interesting.
I was like, wow.
And then like Kate said, when Facebook went down one day, I was like, that's the most peaceful day I've had in a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's telling me how bad I am.
How terrible you are as a business owner.
I read a book. I went outside. I mean, I
had to talk to people.
Right. Thank you again, Kate. Thanks, Mike. Great to see you, my friend. And thanks, everybody, for listening. We will be back next week.